over the years. So the best way for me to prevent that while I'm doing this, so I can focus on this, is to simply have it on
Oh, we're turning
the
around. Turn around here.
subscriber only button. So if you're not a subscriber, I'd love it if you became one. But if you don't, I understand. But that's the reason why you won't be able to chat tonight, because we're trying to prevent some of the riffraff. Um, Also, if you haven't hit that like button, please do so now. It
Here
helps
we go.
the
Number one's
algorithm
live.
spread it out to people about what we are doing here. So I appreciate it if you hit the like button right now. Now, so here's how tonight is going to go.
No, here's
I
how tonight's
have
going. I'm
had
giving
three
live
rounds.
commentary on
So
this one,
you will witness live, like right here in this outfit,
only because we love Fred.
live, the final round. I have selected 15 final products that I have scored twice, and I will score one more time to declare my winner. Back in the old days, I always had a technique where I tasted
Three
things three
times.
times,
See, I
so I
like. I
could
know
make
what he's
sure
gonna
that my
say.
palate was never influenced badly, prior to going into a tasting. And so you are
What's up,
going to
Copper
see
Wolf?
that right now with the finals. This will actually be the fourth or fifth time I would have tasted these in kind of like a professional setting. But I have two scores on everything, these top 15 already. And but
What's
what
up,
you're going to
Peter?
see in the first round, you're going to see a first round tasting of 100 spirits in one sitting.
Oh
And I am
shit.
telling you,
Okay, I thought
this
about
is not easy.
no.
This is a very challenging task, but this is what professional
All right,
tasters do.
this might not be a
You
stream that's
taste
gonna
like
make it the entire
hundreds
night.
of
There's
them
just no way.
in a sitting, and it is absolutely
I mean,
insane.
oh, let me get rid of the round
What
table
I'm
branding
looking
up there.
for,
Nobody needs
I'm
that.
looking for
That's some
aroma, I'm
BP
looking for
action. There we
taste,
go.
I'm looking for finish, but I'm doing it very quickly. And so I don't have a lot of time with the spirit, because when you're going through 100 products, you have to be bang, bang,
I'll
bang,
drain
bang,
a
bang.
bottle real
And
quick.
if you're not that way and you sip too much, you pass out on the floor and then your palate sucks. So, it's not good for you. It's not good for the product. If you spend,
Eh,
if you really
debatable, right?
drink through it. So you have to taste, spit, taste, spit, taste, spit.
That
There's a
is
two
true.
camera setup for this. So you're going to see my notes overhead. You're also going to see what I am tasting as I am tasting it.
You know what I need to go to?
Gary Penna, who is the president of the Bourbon Club of Arkansas, he is a
Oh,
moderator
it's not
tonight,
gonna be a
and he will
Peter. It's not a
be
challenge. I
he will
promise you.
be commenting in the chat
Once he gets going,
what
he's gonna
every
be
what I'm tasting.
just the entire time.
If anybody has any questions about this round or the finals, Gary will have the key of what I am tasting. So now
I want to know
I
who
am going
Gary
to
is. How
read
come
off
nobody
to
knows
you
about
all
Gary?
what
I'm one of
has
friends' closest
made
partners.
my
I don't even
top
know who the hell
100.
Gary is.
This is in no particular order. It's not even alphabetical order. And this is what we will taste, and they will be labeled A1, A2, B1, B2, etc., etc. 10 flights of 10. That's alphabet and numerical. So here we go. So this is what has made the list.
Okay.
Elijah Craig,
See,
A122,
go figure.
Green River,
Okay.
MB Roland, Still Proof,
All right. That's a new one.
Middle West, Berry Batch Rye,
Berry Batch?
Old Fitzgerald, 17-year, bottled and bond,
That game over right there.
Larceny, B522,
A lot of Heaven Hill.
Jack Daniels, Triple Mash,
It's
Ben
good.
Holiday, Missouri, Bourbon,
That might be a ringer.
BBC Discovery, Batch 9,
They do well.
Starlight, Bottle and Bond,
Just the regular?
JT Malik, Rice Whiskey.
That's a
And
new
it's
one.
of note that I have two rice whiskeys in here tonight, and it's the first time I have ever had a rice whiskey in my top 100. 80 Laws, 8-year, bottled and bond. Elijah Craig, B522. Four Roses, limited edition, small batch.
Go figure.
George T. Stagg from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection.
Never heard of her.
William LaRue Weller from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. Thomas Handy from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection.
Yep.
Frey Ranch Quad Malt. Driftless Glen Small Batch.
It's a lot of malts.
Barrel Vantage. Barrel Gold Seagrass.
I might pull out the Barrel Vantage here in a little bit just to try with them.
Makers BRT1.
Butter.
Makers BRT2. Kiamichi 8-year Willet Rye. Kiamichi 5-year Willet Rye.
Well,
Willet
just more Willet.
8-year Black Bottle Purple Top Bourbon.
I've had that.
Weeded bourbon.
It's okay.
Old WM Tar 7-year. Old Fitzgerald 19-year-old bottled and bond.
There you go, Rick. My man.
Larceny C922. Angel's Envy.
Is there a Heaven Hill product that didn't make
Russell's Reserve Single Rick House. Brothers Bond Cash Strength. Peg Leg Porker 8-year Rye.
All right.
Prideful Goat 6-year Cash Strength.
Is he really going to go through all 100?
Prideful Goat 15-year Bourbon.
That was actually a good one. I really like that one.
Batch 1. K-Luke Batch 2. Both blend of straights for bourbon. Dueling Grounds 4-year Bottled and Bond Lincumpinch. Hope I said that right.
He sounds like
Bullet
me.
Cash Strength
How often we skip our words.
2022. Starlight Huber's Double Oak. 2 XO Phoenix Blend.
Ooh.
Pacific Coast Spirits California Blue Corn Whiskey.
All the toasted.
Atelier V Rees Bottled and Bond Louisiana Rice Whiskey.
More rice whiskey.
Pacific Coast American Single Malt Cash Strength. Doc Swinson's Exploratory Lamente.
I've heard of that.
Michter's 20-year-old.
Can you put Michter's 20 on this?
Rye
That's
Batch
not even fair.
3. Penelope Cash Strength 4-grain Batch 12. Smooth Ambler Contradiction Rye.
I would be interested to know if you all think about batches
Woodinville
versus
Whiskey,
just having a regular
straight
product.
Rye. Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey 1856.
We're getting pushback from our distributors.
Garrison Brothers Guadalupe. Spirits of French Lick William Dalton Bottled and Bond. Cedar Ridge Port Finish Rye Batch 1.
All right.
Nassif Blended Rye 110.86 proof.
I think it's George Nassif, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong.
Nelson's Greenbrier Classic. Balcones Peanut Sauterne.
I don't know if I heard that one. Classic.
Sagamore Spirit Bottled and Bond 5-year Rye.
We know that's some
Leopold
money winner
Brothers
right there.
3-chambered Rye.
Yeah, that's
Old
actually pretty good
Potrero
too.
Straight Rye 6-year 100% malted.
Shit, Alan, don't you give me that. Dude, I have
Edition,
one Michter's
Batch
20
1.
that's in the back.
Chattanooga Bottled and Bond.
My days
22,
are numbered when it comes to Michter's 20.
I-15R. New Riff 4 Rookstook Malted Rye.
Rookstook?
Redwood Empire Pipe Dream Cash Strength.
All right. I've heard a lot of people talk about Redwood Empire.
Hold on here.
Him and his Liquid Death lately. He's turning into like a sugar fiend.
Cove Speyside Finish 2022 limited edition. Smoke Wagon Uncut and Unfiltered Batch 163-6.
That's a lot of
Smoke
dashes.
Wagon Malted Rye Batch 4.
Can we put like 90 different smoke wagons in here?
14-year Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Bourbon Boulder Spirits Colorado Straight Bourbon Cash Strength 5 years.
Okay.
Redwood Empire Rocket Top Bottled and Bond Batch 2.
Red Rocket.
Redwood Empire Grizzly Bourbon Bottled and Bond Batch 2. Doc Swinson's Tawny
Redwood
Port
Empire's got a
Finish
lot going on there.
Doc Swinson's Blender Cut 115 Remus Repeal Reserve 5 6.
He calls
Van
me out
Winkle
because
Family Reserve
I have like
Rye.
a Michter's 20 that's
Old Ezra
open and
7-year
people drink it all the
proof
time.
Rye. Stag, formerly
And I hate
Stag Jr. Hemingway Rye, first edition. Smoke Wagon, Bottled and Bond Rye.
How did Hemingway
Nashville,
Rye make it in? They just came out
Barrel
with like
Straight
something
Bourbon.
2 weeks ago.
Tennessee edition, small
Yes,
batch.
it's good enough.
Barrel Seagrass Rye, Booker's 22-2. Old Line Spirits American Single Malt, 5-year Bottled and Bond. Booker's 2022-3 Kentucky Tea Batch 126.5.
Is he really going to drink all these tonight?
United Batch
what
7
up?
CC.
What up, Pursuit?
4-gate 8-year rye port finish.
All right, there we go.
Pinhook 7-year bourbon war.
I just heard the winner right there, right?
Kentucky Peerless small batch reserve. The Fraser collaboration. 291 Colorado Rye, Aspen and Maple syrup barrels. Bradshaw Bourbon Batch 7.
I had that
Rabbit Hole Nevalier,
Peerless of
16-year
the,
bourbon finished in
that
French oak.
collaboration.
Kentucky
Those early
Senator,
barrels.
7-year.
I think they
Stellum
need a little
Equinox
more
Blend
time or
1,
something.
Bardstown Furculum. Liberty Pole Rye
Furculum.
Whiskey, Bladen Bowl 22-year-old.
Oh,
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, C9 22.
mother Elijah
And
Craig Barrel
Wyoming
Proof.
Whiskey National Parks brand, 5 years, batch 2. Now,
He thinks he's gonna do all these tonight.
I just stated all those. We have a lot of scribbling on here.
Can I bring some up?
Because
he puts like
there is an
seagrass,
error.
2XO, and all these other barrel finishes in with his best bourbon of the year. Does anybody else think that's kind of weird?
The official results will be posted on fredminnick.com. That email will go out tomorrow morning. So make sure you go to fredminnick.com and get the full rankings. Now, while I am tasting,
it would be Ryan's in Mexico right
now. The products as I am tasting, those are correct. But because I have, there's been so many lists and people are pouring, and I do not actually know what's in front of me right now. I just want to have that caveat there in the event that there was a brand that appears in here that was not read. So here we go. There will also be an email going out at 8:30 that has my entire list in alphabetical order. So here we go, folks. Here we go. Rob D. So I'm going to go ahead and answer a few questions here. Rob D. There are no Lucky Sevens in here. Vince Aldridge. There is no Russell's Reserve 13-year.
Or single
rick house. I was
house.
not very high on that. Of course, that was my whiskey of the year last year. I was very disappointed when I tasted that. I did not do a formal.
We really liked that one,
but I did not care for it. Shirley May. There are a couple Bookers in here to be exact. I'll go ahead and give you the Bookers numbers. You will see them throughout, but there are definitely some Bookers in here.
Oh yeah.
So Booker.
I think there's like 2 or 3. I think there was like 45 different Heaven Hills.
Batch and Booker's 22-2 is in here. Okay. Yes, Keith Thompson, Middle West's Pumpernickel is in here. It is the Berries batch. It is the Berries batch. Thank you, Greg, for that super chat. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. We got a lot to do here, folks, and I don't think you want me I don't think you want me in here like going on and on about what's not in here and what's in here. Let's get to the tasting.
Let's get to it, man. Let's see what you got.
Here we go.
Let's happen. Let's make it happen. Ooh. Cue up the exciting music. You think he's going to come back with a different ascot on, or is it going to be the same exact thing? If it was a full-on wardrobe change, I think it'd be pretty intense. It'd be fun to watch. All right, I'm moving on to next Bill Oak collection over here. I'm glad I got 28 of y'all hanging out with me. I mean, that's people like to be hanging out on Fred's channel. I'm glad we're hanging out, just hearing what's going on here. You think he's? I'm gonna mute it real quick. All right, there we go. All right, I think that was a little too much to be going right there. So at least you don't have to hear it. It's just music. It's just hype music right now. It's going on. But he's got up here. He's got New Riff. Oh, Hootenstock. Oh, never mind.
Water called Liquid Death.
It is Liquid Death. This guy is Liquid Death. I'll never understand it.
So I had a couple of cases of it, and I was like, "Let's go."
Hey there, Marty.
Right, so
what's up, man?
First one out of the gate. And by the way, I don't know what these are. You are going to see what they are while I am tasting these. Light up the chat with whatever you think, but I'm going to be going through these very fast and just kind of talking randomly like I would in like competition.
He talks randomly in general, so there's really no difference there. But it's good. You all know Fred. You listen to the podcast. He's gives amazing commentary. But see, while he's sitting there nosing, at least I can see like what he's doing or what he's trying to go through. So let's see. He's got which one out here? New Riff for Rootstock malted rye. I know that I saw this one. What's up, Pete? let's see. Rick asked, "Did you get Oak Place in Old Crow?" You probably did. We paid him a few bucks and we were able to get us in there. But all right. I don't know if I had that malted rye from New Riff this year. It's one of those things that everywhere New Riff comes out with one of those crazy, just different one-off finishes. And I got burned one time because I bought their peated release. And since then, I just said, screw it. I'm not buying another New Riff thing ever again, only because I just got burned by that peated release. I just didn't want to deal with it. So, which makes me feel bad because I missed out on Balboa Rye and some other ones have been fantastic. So I feel kind of like an idiot not going back into it. Maybe I'll jump back into that one. SMK, what's up, man? Thanks for coming over. That's why I figured I'd put it on there. I mean, look, this dude is going to be going straight for 3 hours. I'm not going to be sitting here for 3 hours. I'm going to give you some fun here for just a little bit. And he's in a zone. So all he's going to do, he's just be nosing, tasting. And it's going to be hard to kind of keep that shit going. So I figured I might as well just go ahead and just give you a little bit of, I'd say commentary. I mean, he doesn't need it. He's got, I think there was like, what, 600 or 700 people on his stream right now? Yeah, Bogan, for sure. I mean, we did like 40 to 60 barrels at a time when we used to go and select barrels. 100, dude, I don't know. I'd have to take a break, maybe go eat some ice cream or something to go and clear it up. But there's no way that I could do 100. He's on 4. Well, see, that's the thing. Is like he can only take just a little baby sip, and he's not even drinking. He's spitting right away, so there's not even coming back to it again. But if you would have seen before, he talked about it. He goes, "I taste everything 3 times." I was like, I was in his head. I go, "Of course, he's gonna taste it 3 times." So he finally got to this point. What's up, Dan? How you doing, buddy? Matt said, "What's in the glass tonight?" Well, I mean, actually, I'll have to go get it because if we're in the competition, if we're doing batch 7cc, but I grabbed the Oak Collection tonight. I just killed that bottle. But I was saying before, I don't know. I want to kind of get your all's thoughts on this one because there's so much stuff in here. I don't know if this is just like best of bourbon or it's best of finished bourbon or it just gets lumped in together because I heard Seagrass, I heard 2XO, I heard Booker's, I heard all this stuff together. And it's like, wait a minute, is this best of bourbon or is just like best of just whiskeys that came out? So I don't really know what it's supposed to be. Marty, I just poured the United Oak Collection. That's what I just poured right now as I get into this. I like he's 86 herbal.
86?
93. Ooh, 93 is a pretty good score. I wonder what got that. But he's going back and forth between all this stuff. You got like a crazy malted rye, a craft bottled and bond, just a regular MGP cash strength with the Brothers and Bod cask. The Prideful Goat 6 year. That's another just MGP. Actually, that's either MGP. No, yeah, that's MGP. It's an MGP rye, is what that one is. Stellum Equinox, Smoke Wagon. All right, so let's look at this. We've got 4 out of all these are still MGP. The fact that you're putting Old Fitz 19 year,
what is essentially a speed tasting here,
at the top of it at a 19-year release. Oof, I hope it holds up a little bit.
Going well.
What? Oak Collection's not available in Washington? Yeah, unfortunately, I think your best bet's going to be Seal Box. But, you know, if you know somebody, you let me know. We can get it to you. There you go. Jason's my man. Jason knows what's up over there. Thanks, Shane. I appreciate it, bud. We're excited for it, too. So they also have the Hard Truth Sweet Mash Rye Batch 3. So I've got batch 1 over here. It's actually really good. It's this farm, and we've been there. It's just this farm in lower southern Indiana, and Ryan loves it because it reminds him of his childhood. You can go and ride 4-wheelers all day and do some other stuff, but man, he loves that place. Yeah,
A8.
no steel box in Indiana, no United Indiana yet either. I know we're working on it, man. We're trying to get there. We need a little bit more time. We got to fix our current problems, and then we will scale. We will get there, man. Golly, Corey. And he's like, I can't get yourself Wisconsin ever. All right. Well,
Wow.
I'm sorry. We will do our damnedest to try and get it as easy as we can, but we're not far away from you. I don't know how far up north you are. If you're in the southern part, Illinois, we're right there. We're at the Benny, so maybe get it close there. Alan, about getting stuff in Ohio. I'm right there with you, man. Leave this collecting behind. Yeah.
A9.
As much as I'd say that, it sounds like a good idea that we'd leave collecting behind, but I mean, come on. Like, you're in this. You can't get away from it. That's the hard part.
Just
Once you get sucked
in the
in,
first
like,
flight,
what he
with
said?
my
What's he saying?
palate cleanser, I can already tell I'm going to need a switch. I'm going to need water as well. I would normally have Munster cheese, but
He likes
that's
his
over
Munster
a
cheese.
3-4 hour long process, and
That's a lot of
I'm not
cheese.
gonna have it on the table. I have palate cleansers in there, so when I need to take a break, I will go in there and fatten my palate up and do that. So here we are, A9.
All right, so he likes Munster cheese. I'm gonna say, like, I'm just straight. I mean, I think mozzarella. Like, mozzarella would be just a good plain cheese, but I don't know. Munster. I thought, does Munster have a sharp? You can't get sharp cheddar. You can't do that because that's just too much flavor going on. But I would say that something like a mozzarella, like that's a pretty tame cheese that you could do there.
And the last 4 of the flight, A10.
Do I miss my natural light? Dude, I used to drink Natty Light way back in college. I mean, that was everybody. I think a lot of people drink Natty Light in college. That was just what it was. It was 24 can packs. It was actually, well, goddamn, what was it? I think it was 24 cans for like $12 or $15 or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what it was back in college. Yeah, Marty, I'm looking forward to Palooza 23 as well. I actually started doing some early planning for it already.
All right.
So I've got some notes of things to kind of do.
We have a pretty impressive flight.
Okay, let's see what Fred has to say here.
I'd say there are 2 really prominent contenders here.
Who's the master, me or him? No, I'm just kidding. You know it's Fred.
3 if I'm dipping, if I want to say, kind of a long shot if I retaste these. A5 was very caramelly. You know what? I'll go through all of
them. Thanks, Fred.
A1 I found to be very spicy and oily. It had a really nice viscosity to it. A2 was herbal and coffee forward.
Turn the mic a little because I can barely hear it.
Brand that has a following, and I like that.
Let me know if y'all can't hear it or hear his. I'll try to fix it.
This is a very meaty flight.
Meaty flight.
Flavor profile, didn't fare as well.
Can't use that one in public too often.
A3, a really nice spice, real big spice bomb. A4, chocolate and very, very nice, like candied yams. A5, which I scored a 93 for this.
Shit.
Vanilla, caramel, toffee. Trifecta
just
for me right there.
All MGP too. What do you know?
A6,
even Fred
cocoa,
falls for it.
Butter and like rye bread, like a toasted rye bread. A7 I found incredibly complex. A7 was like next level complexity.
Jesus Christ.
I thought that was going to be the winner of the flight. And then I tasted A8, which knocked my socks off. It
was finally
incredibly complex.
At least somebody could take down MGP.
Chocolate bomb, just gorgeous. It was just A8 I want to spend more time with. And I definitely know that that's going to be advancing quite well.
Dear Lord, if you look at it on the video here, A8 is just darker than anything else. Everything else is 5 to 6 years old.
A10, spicy, but a little too alcoholic for me. So that is the first flight. That's A10. We are going to press pause on the recording here and get set up for
What,
B.
round 2?
So, flight B. Here
All
we
right.
come.
You know what I love about this? Okay, I'm gonna mute that. So now as we start going through here, what I'm really gonna like is that we see I thought he was just going through it. I didn't know it was actually on the side. So now we could actually critique what he's doing as he's going through here. And it's gonna be interesting to go through this is because he just gave a bunch of high rankings to just more MGP stuff. And don't get me wrong, gosh, it's good stuff. We talk about it all the time, but man alive, we are all just succumb to it. I mean, I guess that's why it's good. It's just like it freaking wins. Shit, I don't know. I'm gonna hop on the other stream real quick and let people know that we're still over here talking about it. All right. Oh, that was quick. He's back. He's back already.
A pretty
There we
rapid
go. He's
tasting.
back.
This is how you do it in competition. When you are tasting hundreds, or really more than 50, you got to be quick. Otherwise, you'll be there all day with it, and you're not there to drink. You're there to taste.
All right. At home, Dad. Wait. We gotta start from the beginning. Yes. No. We're already on batch. We're on flight B already, man. We gotta keep going. No stopping. Can't stop it now.
Spend a lot of time with it. Here, once it's kind of like
yeah, Marty.
Kind of like the NCAA
if you want to send me a Christmas letter, you can do that too. No, enjoy your gift card, buddy. Appreciate all the support.
They may not necessarily be SEC worthy, but they excited me, right? So they're part of what I think is the good movement of American whiskey.
All right.
And so,
what we got on here?
Not everything on here is from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection.
Hold on, let's count this.
Certainly, an Eagle Rare 17-year would probably beat, which is not on this list, would probably beat something that is on the list in a blind tasting. But
I do see, I see 3 MGPs on this list. 3 MGPs
didn't meet that merit of me like saying like it's got to be incredible. If it's a extremely allocated product, one of those kinds of products, I'm going to have a little different, opinion of it. So to get here,
I'll answer that in a minute. Let me let Fred go through his intro here.
Exceptional for it to be here, and if it's a craft whiskey, it had to be exceptional. So everything here had to be exceptional. But the allocated products,
4-1 odds, and it's something MGP.
Kind of looked at. I gave a very strong assessment of them early on. And if they didn't
only because it's 19 to 1 odds on how many submissions are actually all MGP.
Great, so that's kind of kind of like with the Pappy flight that I reviewed. I mean, none of the Pappy Van Winkles are on here. The Van Winkle Family Reserve is on here, the rye, but those other ones just did not meet my criteria.
God damn it, you're right. It's squib. It's always squib. I need to change my demeanor and my language.
You should taste for yourself. I'm blind tasting, but I'm doing it in kind of a speed flight, and I'm going to go ahead and start with a B1.
B1. Old Portreo straight rye 6-year 100% malted. We had this one. If you remember, we did this. I'm pretty sure we did this on a whiskey quickie. Not a fan. What he put it as. I'm kind of curious now. If he gives it like above a 90, it'd be crazy. 90. What I did, dare Lord. It's like the wavelengths are just on point. Yeah,
B2?
You're right. It seems like a strange flight. I mean, I think he's just adding stuff. I don't know if it was all together. That's what the real thing that I'm trying to figure out is because he's adding in finished stuff. He's adding in straight bourbons. He's adding rye whiskeys, all of this together. And it's to sit there and try to compare a seagrass to say like a straight-year-old, like Rabbit Hole 16-year French oak. Like that's not a fair comparison. It's just completely different whiskeys, completely different profiles. I agree. But, if you're trying to figure out the best whiskey of the year,
B3,
shit, I guess is the way to do it. So Matt asks, who's the next MGPs? Bardstown or Dickel? We talked about this. The next MGP is probably going to be MGP. If that's the way I would probably look at it. We'll see what happens in the next few years. All right. We missed B2. Well, he said Woodinville was a what? 80? He's high. Jefferson's Ocean New York edition, 90. I don't know I think the New York edition, that was just if I recall correctly, that was just like only for airports or whatever they call international travelers or something like that. So interesting take. Let's see. So was Greg Metz the distiller of any squib juice? So Greg he was the master distiller for a while, but here's the thing is that MGP is so big, they have, I think, 10 distillers. Maybe not. That's probably over. That's me spitting lies that I don't know. I'm going to guess at least 3 to 4 of distillers. Now, whoever's the master distiller, that's a different question.
B5?
But it's one of those things is that if you have a factory, you have processes, and you have consistency, it's going to be the same stuff over and over and over. So as long as you don't rock the boat, it's fine. So if I wouldn't don't get me wrong, Greg's great, but don't give all the credit to Greg for everything that MGP's been putting out, only because there's just a lot of people that are happening there behind the scenes. Okay, he said B4 was a 95? What do you know? MGP rye, 95.5. All right, I'm gonna try to quit my
6.
Let's see. B6. Oh, here we go. It's 3 MGP ryes or 3 MGPs in a row. What's he gonna do here? Hey, what's up there, Diggs? He rated Old Portrayal at 90. So B4, B5, B6. He put 95, 89.7, and B6 was a what? Is he putting the smoke wagon? 91. All right. There you go.
B7.
So word to the wise, if you're going to start a brand, do it on MGP because Fred's going to rate it highly. And here we go. This is the $2,000 bottle from Rabbit Hole, which I have a small little sample bottle of. I might grab it here in a minute because it's actually fantastic. I'm curious what he's going to rate this.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Matt, you're right, because I've seen a lot of people talk about the Remus repeal, just talking about it, and I feel that was going to be a big one. 93. I guess 93. 96. Boom. Look at that. Rabbit Hole coming up top on that one. Congratulations, man. That's a big one. Yeah, I'm surprised Remus is solo. I've seen a lot of people talk about that Remus Repeal Reserve. I haven't had it yet. So
first spillage of the tasting. 18 pours in. I'm already spilling. Let's see if I can make it all the way through.
I mean,
kidding. All right, B8.
If he makes it 2 more hours, I'll be surprised. Actually, he's going to. He's a pro. What's up there, Ray? And that's up there, McGlen Karen Bourbon. Always appreciate all your comments and posts on our side. Yeah, I just saw it. Damn it, Blake. All right. What is he up to now? 9. They took it off the screen. I don't know what they're doing anymore. Anybody else have a screenshot?
On the label there. That's to notify me. There is not a lot. There's not a refill, in other words.
Oh, crap. So, now they took it off the screen. Now
this is the first year that I've actually not had a lot of help.
Oh, thank God. I think they were listening to me.
And so
all right, Sweetens Cove, Spaysides. What's up now?
A really good team of friends kind of come together.
Dude, y'all can
help me last minute. So big shout out to Alex and Mike Godfrey for helping me out on that.
All right. So look how dark that Rabbit Hole 16 year is compared to everything else.
B8. Yeah, it surprised me.
Sweetens Cove. What do you put that one as? I'm guessing 89. 92. All right.
B10. That's my palate out.
California Blue Corn. This one I have not had. This one is completely new. So I haven't even heard of Pacific Coast Spirits and the California Blue Corn. Yeah, Rick. So it's a 16-year rabbit hole French oak. I'm actually gonna go get it here in a second because I have a small little sample that Cave brought over when we recorded with them back this year, and so we got just like a little baby sample of it. It's actually really fantastic.
So we're 20 American whiskeys in. Just finished the B flight. How I would normally do
20
this,
in. We got 80 more to go, my friend.
You all assessing this for a live stream or for a taste off, I would be talking about each one of the glasses really thoroughly. Here, I have 100 products to taste. I'm going to try and get it all through all of it in one sitting, and you're going to see what it's like to do this. What we have here is we have our second flight. You can, hopefully, you've been paying attention to my chicken scratch and my notes there.
Oh, we're paying attention. Really close.
But what we have here in our second flight, we have one clear cut elite whiskey, and that's B7. But to talk about
we had
B1,
186.
Bomb, really like that.
Yeah, that
B2. You hear me talk a lot about
rabbit holes up there.
I like grains. This is very grain forward. I think B2 is a very formidable whiskey, but this is this is a top 100, and they made it here for a reason. And this very delicious, very grain forward. C3, little caramel.
So that's spice. Where we all differ between
B3 is one
ourselves and Fred.
Could win a lot of flights. Really.
We're
nice.
Not grain forward kind of people.
A B4. Boy, it just comes in and grabs the tongue. It's another.
From what I saw earlier,
very, very good.
It's not on the list.
And this is a really good one. I think it's going to be one in the there toward the end. A B5, kind of a cornbread note. I give this. I talked about B2 being grain forward. That kind of that next phase of the grain is like when it kind of turns and tastes like a bread a little bit, and B5 is a little bit more sweet than B2. B6, it's got a long mouthfeel, so it kind of traces all the way back and even to the back of the throat. B7, just blown away by B7, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that one fares.
I wouldn't lie about this.
B8 is a honey bomb. I think B8
this is the World Cup of.
I'm going to keep
it's not the World Cup because you have the World Cup for 4 years. I know what you would call it. It's a Super Bowl. Right?
Just because
Super Bowl of whiskey tasting.
I think there's something special there with B8. I may not have scored it as well as B7, but I feel like B8 is one of those that can be sneaky and grow on you after a while. A B9, boy, I was not expecting peat. You don't get a lot of American. You don't get a lot of.
Hold on, no peat.
American whiskey.
No peat. Nobody wants peat.
I kind of was going in thinking this is just going to be another rye or bourbon or blend of straights, and then boom, peat right up on you.
Nasty.
But so yeah, that was very nice. And these are I have no information on these whatsoever. I don't have proof.
Yeah, I mean
I don't have type. I have nothing.
They don't understand, but maybe they do.
Yeah.
So I told my wife I was going to do this. I was like, I wonder if I could restream his while I go and give commentary.
My palate is.
She goes, "Why would you do that?"
B10.
I don't know, because I think people might enjoy it.
Very chewy, so it's very, very chewy. It reminds me of like a granola bar, but kind of a one-hit wonder on that.
So if we're 20 in and we're 45 minutes,
leave in as
we
much
got
information as I possibly can. But again, we
80
have
more to go.
100 American whiskey.
Dude, this is a midnight stream.
The priority is to get.
I'm not lasting until midnight
and not necessarily explain them or answer questions. So thank you for tuning in, and here we go to the next flight, round C. Let's go.
Round C. All right. Put that on mute. Nobody needs to hear that. You want to hear it? It's like a mix of 20th Century Fox plus Halloween. All right. But no. All right, flight C coming up. What y'all thinking so far? So I heard Jack Daniels in his top 10. You know, it wasn't it, but it was we had what was it? Oh gosh. Oh yeah, Crown Royal Peach. That was in the top 10. So that's just part of it. Hey, there's Ryan from Mexico. Welcome, buddy. Hope you're enjoying your margs as you're watching this happen. I just figured it'd be fun to just go ahead and give commentary as Fred's doing this. So I have to wait until Pursuit. Dude, if this goes the way he's gonna say it's gonna go, he said Pursuit in the last 15. That's gonna be at fucking 2 AM at this rate.
Flight
All right, here we go.
C1 through 10. Once again, we are
Yes,
doing
Lucas, we're on
10
YouTube and
flights of
Facebook.
10. You get to see what I'm
Yeah.
tasting. I don't know what I'm
Breaking
tasting.
news.
These are merely labeled
Here we
as
go.
C, C1, C2, yada,
No,
yada, yada.
listen,
And I'm
Tennessee
trying
Jed.
to,
Peat is not fine.
kind
I
of
don't care what you
go
say. If
through
you
these,
smoke
and
peat
this
and you
is
put it in
about
my
this is
whiskey, I
about
don't like
the
it. I'm a sweet
kind
corn
of
man. That's just the way
amount
it
of
is.
time that you would have in a spirits
I'm
competition.
not gonna start a fight
The
with
only
you.
difference
Everybody likes their
here
thing.
is
That's
that I don't have
perfectly fine.
anyone to
Maybe I
talk
just don't
to
have a
once I have made
mature
my
palate.
conclusion. So in a lot of competitions, after
I'm
you
gonna shut up
have
while he talks here.
tasted something, you then have a panel you confer you share your notes with, and sometimes you will. What I'm doing here is I'm going through all 100. I am
Actually, while he's
scoring
talking,
each
I'm
one of
gonna go
these,
get that
and the ones that
other
have like a
rabbit
high
hole.
marks for me, we're going to come back in and we're going to taste them, and then we're going to pick what would be our top 10 or top 25. On fredminnick.com, I will have that full list of top 100, but it's simply not possible for me to taste 100 things and cite all 100 of them here on this live stream. So what we are doing here is we are speed tasting, and we are basically talking about each one of them after we have tasted. So let's start with C1.
Cheesy one. Cheese one. Let's go. There you go. Everybody else is with me. Smoke. No. Smoke sucks. Ah. Anyway, by the way, it's okay, Tennessee. A lot of people like peat and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. I know a lot of us just aren't fans of it. That's what we always say. People want like a smoked old fashioned. I'm just like, I think you want that, but you don't really want it. You're just tasting it and you're going, this is not the sweetness that I wanted. All right, BBC batch 9. What do you put it? 94? Is that what it says? 94 or 84? Can y'all read that? If that's a 94, that's a huge
C2?
score.
Anytime I'm doing these major taste off like this, like it can feel overwhelming.
Major taste off.
But I feel very much in my element here. The difference between now and what I have done in the past is simply talking into a camera. But
Me
I
too,
feel
Fred.
very comfortable tasting very quickly and knowing whether I like something or not.
All right. So this is that 16-year rabbit hole that he just poured. I'm going to pour a little bit of it too. Unfortunately, I only have just a... Oh, shit. Dropped it. Yeah. All right. I'm back. So you only got a little bit left now. Need to savor that flavor. All right. That was Uncle Nearest, 1856. The most... If you go to Kentucky, you come here and you go to the airport, it says the most awarded bourbon doesn't come from Kentucky. It's from Tennessee. I don't know if those are fighting words, but it's all over our airport. All right. Gonna get caught up here. You should do this to every whiskey reviewer's review. Just go ahead and just give commentary. Why not? Who cares? All right. So what was it? C3 91.
So far, this is a very
all right. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Going to C4. How can you pour C4 and not think about,
don't say explosives.
Blowing shit up.
Oh, golly. Saw that one coming.
Seeing C4 work.
So I hope we don't have to worry about restreaming.
Whole other experience. I was more comfortable being around C4 than a grenade. Grenades always scared the shit out of me.
I have nothing to add to this conversation.
You're just one idiot away from dropping the pin. And, you had to have all these parameters around you for a C4.
Dude, he is drinking liquid death between every break. It is just constant. He's just talking about it and taking. If I wouldn't know. I think Fred is maybe sponsored by Liquid Death. Brad, does he have a staff that puts this together for him? He has some help. Yes, he's got a person that helps him put this together because this would be a lot to put together. I haven't either. I think it's just the new Four Loko, but who knows? That's good. That rabbit hole shit's good. 16-year French oak, but it's not a very overly pronounced French oak, man. That it's just tannic bomb. I know Ryan hates that, but man, it's a tannic bomb. I love it. All right, C5 Hemingway. What's he writing that as? 94? Oh shit. All right, hold on.
C6.
I had to go grab it. I haven't even cracked it open yet. Now that he writes 94, I've got to see this. So he wrote a 94 for Hemingway. This one right here. I haven't cracked it. I feel bad because Ryan's watching right now, and I'm gonna have to try this while he can't do it to keep me honest. But
C6 was one that was so spicy, I have to go let my tongue air out for a minute. So I use this as a moment to tell you, like when you have one of those in a flight that really just kind of grabs a hold of your tongue.
There we go.
You want to let it kind of rest. You want your palate to breathe and rest a little bit. You don't want that whiskey resonating on your tongue when you go to the next one. And a simple wash of water isn't going to be enough for what C6 was. C6 is really kind of curls up underneath
Boulder
the tongue.
spirits.
It's like from the side to my cheeks. It was very powerful.
Interesting.
Very powerful. So,
all right, here we go.
Hemingway tasting. That's C6 is something that has a chance to win it all because it has that ability to take over your palate.
That's actually pretty
all
good.
Right, so here we go.
94 is a high. Ryan says a 90. I might be like a 90, 91, even though I don't put points to it, but that Hemingway is actually pretty damn good. This was the new Jacob Call release that he just came out after he left Green River. So he came out with this. Oh, but this is rum. See, this is the shit I don't like. I don't know if this is best bourbon, best whatever, but he's putting rum, he's putting rye, he's putting everything. So this is actually a rye finished in Oloroso sherry cask. Okay, so that's why it has this different flavor to it. All right. It's not straight rye whiskey.
C8.
But it's good. I will say it is good. All right. I'll give it to Fred. All right. We're on C7 was Maker's Butter 01. I don't know what BRT. I just say butter. And then C8's Doc Swinson's Tawny Port finish. And it's hard to put all. I couldn't do this if I were Fred. It'd be hard to put all these next to each other because as soon as you taste something and it's this tannic bomb, then you get the sherry bomb, and you get this rye spice. Like, I don't know how you could truly stack rank these against each other. I think it'd be tough. 94.
C9.
I think the longer he's going, he's adding more points to it. But maybe I'm wrong. A 5-year-old scored 95. I don't know if I just when you go and see that here in a second. We'll see that. I want to if I was paying attention there or not. I just saw that the Doc Swinson scored a 94. I don't think it was a 95 though. No, I think it's an 85. That's an 85. This is C7. C9, Prideful Goat 15-year, 93. I'll give it. It's good. I've got over there. Fantastic. It's that sourced 15-year Kentucky stuff.
C10.
Really good. Kiamichi, not Kaimichi. Just Willet 5-year rye. Keep that in mind. Willet 5-year rye. See what he gives it. C10. Don't. Kind of curious what's going to happen here. Because I like a lot of their stuff, but these are all single barrels. You got to remember, these are single barrels here. Dill. All right. That sounds about right. 89. 89. What's he going to put? I'm going to guess 89. What do you put?
So
go back to the camera. What do you
I
put?
found this flight to be a little more difficult than the last two because there was so much range in between whiskeys. Like, for example,
such a cliffhanger.
You know, I get this big peanut butter note on C9, and then I go to a completely different style on C10, which was dill, herbs, pepper, and it's like, I'm essentially what I'm doing with every one of these. I'm tasting. Do I like this one more
Blind
than
in
that
reverse?
One? And
should. Well, he said it took him
it's
3 times to be able to
really,
get to this point.
really
so
hard.
We'll see.
And so I have to go with what my initial instinct is with the score. And
this is just like
I
Peyton.
found this to be a very
You're my
good
Eli.
flight, starting out with 1 being a very rich caramel bomb, and then going to 2 has this lovely dirt note with some jalapeno. 3 grainy and butterscotchy at the same time, very good.
Mm-hmm.
C4 had a little bit of almond flavor and some cola. That was probably my least favorite of the bunch, but it was still
say C4?
Still nice. C5 was had a really beautiful chocolate, raspberry, and fig note. I really like C5.
Poured it right here.
But for me, the winner of this flight was C6, spice. So good.
Oh shit! I guess you're right.
Some grass smoke. I almost thought,
I guess C6 he did put that Boulder one as
C8 long
a 95. I thought it was an 85.
About
he just got chicken scratch.
But I feel like C8 and C6 are pretty clear, leaders here. C9 is kind of in that next phase. Like, it's just right behind him. So, I've been picking pulling 3 aside from the past 2 flights. I think I'm only going to do 2 on this one for the next round. So it's going to be C6 and
I'm glad you're keeping score. Because I'm watching this and I'm
I'm sorry.
Maybe I'm glad that we are towards
C8,
the end.
C1 and C6.
He won't even be coherent by the time he gets to the 90s.
So we're in the 3rd flight.
That liquid death right there.
My mental acuity doesn't go away. Here's the next one. Here we go.
Liquid death. Liquid death. Liquid death break, everybody. I mean, Jesus Christ. Is this pre-recorded? It must be, because that's how fast that went right there. There's no way he just did a quick. All right, we're back in. There wasn't even a news flash break in there. I didn't even get a chance to really mute it. Flight D, liquid death wins. That's how it. That's going to be Flight Z at the end. It's going to be liquid death. It's going to be Rockstar Energy, Four Loko. All right, Peg Leg Porker. We've had this one. 8-year rye, though. I don't know if we had the 8-year rye, but we had their old bourbon. You know where that shit comes from.
It's in here.
86. All right. By the way, there is a lot of Russell's Rickhouse Single House did make it in here. There is a lot of Heaven Hill that made it into his competition.
Go to 2.
See, Matt, you think there's lots of high scores coming in for high proof? I don't know, man. I'm so
D2 tasting D2.
It's so all over the place because, yeah, even though it is a high proof, dear Lord, it at least for once we haven't seen. Actually, wait, no, there's no MGP in this one. There might not be an MGP in this route, but for some reason MGP has been coming away with a lot of stuff. I don't know. We'll see what happens here, but yeah, there is a lot of high proofs coming in, which
kind of like a Division D3 football team.
Doesn't fare well for somebody like us that puts in 108, and we're going to compare against people that are 122 proof or some shit. So, all right, Jack Daniel's triple mash. I'm pretty sure this was Whiskey Advocate's Whiskey of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. It was a Jack Daniel's 89. Boom. Figured. Adam Pegleg Dickel or Pegleg Porker, yeah. Dickel, yes, their bourbon is definitely Dickel. But this was their rye. I'm not too sure if you've ever had Dickel rye, it doesn't taste like Dickel bourbon. It's a completely different animal. Lewis, this was the Kiyomichi 5-year, if I'm not mistaken. Got a 91. Okay. All right. Thanks, Matt. All right. It was bonded. So triple mash. All right. Well, we'll see if bonded makes it in there. I mean, hell, they came.
D5?
Jack Daniels didn't change in their product sets for 400 years. And all of a sudden, the past 3, they come out with 22 different releases. And now they've got 4 different top contenders for Whiskey of the Year. So at some point, they're going to take away a medal, right? You're right. I'll start saying squib. My bad. All right. 93.
D6.
So at 91 and 93 on that one. All right. Yeah. I mean, the Russell's Reserve Single Rickhouse 93. We rated that one really high. I was a big fan of it. I didn't want to like it that much, only because, just chasing after labels, chasing after Rickhouses. But damn it, it was really, really good. Yeah, we should probably get a 3-way stream going on and see if we can have him maybe have a third camera on him somewhere. That'd be nice.
D7.
All right, D7. Starlight Huber's bottled and bond. I mean, you see Starlight everywhere. You tell me a store in the country that doesn't have a Starlight pick right now. I'd be curious what he puts here. 87. Okay.
D8.
I mean, the one thing I love about the Hubers and their Starlight and everything like that is they do an amazing job on single barrels. They crush the single barrel market. Them and Nulu, they do an amazing job. I mean, people go crazy over them. Daniel's Bobo Batch? Are you thinking of Mary Bobo's? Not Daniel Bobo's?
D9?
Oh, Daniel's Bobo. I get you saying because Mary Bobo wasn't there. All right, so D8 was 4-gate. D9 Stag. This is this year's Stag. Okay, he had to go actually. He was texting me asking if he could get me if I could get him a bottle of this. I was like, dude, I can't get you a bottle of Stag. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, no, I can't get you a bottle. He goes, you know, make your own connections. I was like, I didn't get a bottle. 94. I mean,
D10.
Shit, it's good. All right, Starlight not available. Okay, it's not available in Missouri or anywhere in Arkansas. My bad. If it wasn't an 83, it was definitely a 93. I know he's got chicken scratch, but it was definitely there. Yeah. For you, Brian, I'll get you a bottle of Stag, not for Fred. No, he literally texted all of us. He's like, hey, you get a bottle of Stag. I'm like, I can't get you a bottle of Stag. I didn't even get a bottle of Stag. I haven't seen a bottle of Stag on shelves in 3 years. But I'm pretty sure it's an 84.
D10 one more time. On that first taste, it felt pretty flat to me.
All right, Spirits of French Licks, William Dalton, bottled and bond.
Yeah, pretty flat.
But you can tell the darkest one of all that was that 4-gate 8-year port finish.
But that would be
82.
Okay,
Ouch.
so I would have to say that this was probably, so far the most disappointing flight.
Oh, yikes.
There were some, obviously everything makes this list for a reason. But when we blind taste, all those reasons are out the window. It's all about the taste. It's not about, is it the first, whiskey to use a 3-chamber still?
Talk about in a minute.
Or am I rewarding someone for using peat?
It was very disappointed, but we had 293s in a 94.
Or am I,
very
really
disappointing.
Encouraged by the quality of the blend of straights? Those things are all out the window. Here I'm assessing aroma, taste and finish. And at the end of the day, some of these, did not live up to, and really they were kind of bookmarked. It was 1 and 10. One was really, really dirty for me. It was like it did not express well, and it was kind of like drinking some dirty water. But then came in some citrus notes and kind of some marshmallow, and I kind of saved it a little bit. 2 was really good. I can't read my notes.
There's a lot more disappointment to come, my friend. Just wait.
I think I got a marzipan in this. Yeah, this was 2. 2 was either my favorite or second favorite of the flight. 3 had a nice chocolate note, but will not be moving on. 4, some nice cinnamon, some nice clove to it.
I would imagine Elijah Craig barrel proof.
5
had to go
spicy, like a nice spicy.
It had to be
bomb.
the best.
6 was kind of like a peanut brittle, right? Like a little bit of a peanut brittle. 8 was very anise, like black licorice, kind of like. I missed 7. 7 was very light. There was not a lot of feel to 7, but there was just like little hints of berries. It was okay. 9, it was really maple syrup forward, like really maple syrup.
I mean, that had to be a big contender. It's Stag, right? Everybody loves it.
Yeah, I like 9. I think 9 was probably my favorite of the flight, but you heard my thoughts about 10. But between 9 and say 2, 9 and 2 were really the only ones that I would consider moving on from this category, or from this flight. And 2 is pretty similar to some of the other whiskeys we've already moved on.
But it's good. It's Larceny barrel proof.
I don't know how it's going to fare, but I know how I'm faring. We're 40 bourbons or 40 whiskeys in so far. Reed, am I sounding okay? Everything's good? All right.
I don't know how we're going to make
Reed Sample, everybody behind the camera, give a shout out
60
to him.
more.
He's
I don't think this stream's going to make past 60 more.
But I'm going to move on.
Hey,
I'm
Reed.
going to move on.
Whoa. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Big stuff coming out. Actually, Fred just texted me a minute ago and he goes, "Are you restreaming mine?" I'm like, yeah.
On E1.
Hopefully he doesn't care. We'll see. We'll see if he comes back and says something.
Are you ready for E1?
Fred, if you catch on and you watch this, yeah, man, we love you. I'm bringing more people into your stream via our stream. It's all about you. It's all about you. That's what we're here to talk about. You say palate exhaustion, dude. Fred is a pro. He's done 92,000 competitions, so I'm not too sure if palate exhaustion is setting in yet. It would for most of us, but probably not for Fred. This is just a Tuesday for him. Get it? Because it's a Tuesday. 92, Sagamore Bottled Bond 5-year. Whoa, there we go. Shout out to our Baltimore friends right there. Congratulations. That's a big score. Yeah, Ryan, 60 more. So he's doing 100 whiskeys tonight. I don't think this stream's gonna make it past. I'm probably gonna cut it off at 10, to be honest with you. I don't think I can make it past then, but I'll hang out for a little bit. Yeah, you're right. There are some other big heavy hitters. So I will be interested to see exactly how other ones fare as we start going down here of big bottles, big dollar signs and everything like that, and see what happens here.
23.
I didn't see what he wrote for Contradiction Rye. I guess we'll see. Barrel Vantage. I pulled that one out. I was going to pull myself. Oh, got some stickers in the bottom. I pulled that one out just to have a drink of this later. I like it. I think Barrel Vantage is great. Whoa, 95. Contradiction Rye got a 95? He's throwing out some big numbers now, isn't he? If this is upper 84? What?
84?
What? Did somebody screw up those samples? Whoa. I mean, that's a shocker. I'll set it there. It's a shocker.
Oh. Hello.
More Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Hello. I mean, that's always going to be a shocker. And not to say a shocker. That's always going to come up as a shock to the palate, I guess you could say. It's a 122.6. Man, to give Smooth Ambler Contradiction 95 and then Barrel
85?
Vantage 84. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we'll see.
Not going to really comment on E5.
Yeah, you're right. We would have started talking about cereals,
forward for
maybe Nintendo games,
from an aspect,
something like that.
From an aspect of timing, and just trying not to overthink
E5.
something in a moment.
K. Luke.
I'm going to give notes for where I find like the notes are worthy. But E5 was it was very, very, very good. But I didn't find it to be like, you know what? I'm so excited here. I need to write notes. Because, once again,
the ultimate backhanded compliment.
Trying to get through this. And you don't want to rush. You don't want to rush it, but you also don't want to overthink it or try to, compensate. Find if I spend a lot of time on E5 trying to think of what that note is.
You had 2 naps by now.
But I know I'm not going to grade it any higher than an 89. Then I'm losing quality time here. To speed through them, and I realize that may not make a lot of sense, but when you're trying,
you always make sense. Don't say that, Fred.
Finish 100 whiskeys in a sum of 2 hours or so, you got to cut some time somewhere.
There's no way we'll finish this in 2 hours.
It's also,
I'm with you, dude. Like I thought Vantage was pretty good. I'm a big fan of it. It's a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys finished in Mizunara, French, and toasted American oak. I mean, it's literally has a trifecta of what everybody wants in a finished bourbon.
E7. So I got out of the Army as an E6. I could have been an E7. I also could have been an officer, but I always like being enlisted.
Okay.
Officers just...
I wasn't in the Army. I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know what it was.
This is Greek to me.
Got in trouble for everything.
But thank you to all you veterans out there that...
At least if you're enlisted, you can get away with it. A lot of stuff.
Do this for us. All right. This is Stag right here he's chasing, right? This is Stag. George T.
Holy shit.
Oh, shit.
E7 is drop. Dead.
Oh man.
Yummy.
Well, there it is, y'all.
Caramel.
I'm gonna guess 96. 96.
So, E7 is one of those. Oh no!
Oh, come on.
The battery's dying over here.
Matt thinks it's a
I
98.
don't know if we got a bad
Unless we got a delay on our end.
We may be having to go just one camera. But E7 is special.
Shit. Tell me about it. We reviewed that. It was my favorite of the B-Tax this year, by far. Not even a question. He's going back for seconds. Why not?
E8. My first sergeant. E8. Going on.
No, we don't stand a chance against Stag. It's not even. Don't even put us in the same category. Good thing we're not in this flight. Did he even put it? There it is. 97. 97 is
E9?
what he put a Stag. 97.
Sergeant Major. I'm sorry.
Brian had it.
For those who were not in the military, I'm using the enlisted with E, and once again, it sounds funny to me in my head. But again, this is my 49th whiskey, so
All right. What was that? 90. What was
E10?
E9? Oh, Phoenix blend. Okay. I mean, there we go. Dixon Deadman special. Not surprised there. Yep.
Wow.
2 Starlights rated in the mid 80s. See, that's the thing is like, I love Starlights. I love Huberts. And they do an amazing job on the single barrels. And it's really hard to find that core product offering sometimes.
Wow. Beautiful.
A Coy Hill. Yeah, this has to be a 95. 95 plus. I was a huge fan of the Coy Hill. Lewis thinks it's to be a palate blowout. We'll see. I don't know. Marzipan. Marzipan. So much marzipan. All the pans. 97.
Okay. So, this may be the best class so far.
There we go.
You remember me talking about how
that's amazing.
The last flight, I was a little concerned that my palate, might have gotten jacked up, and I hope we don't have that again with this one. This was a great one.
Yep.
This was a great class. It started with what I believe to be a rye and E1. So full transparency, folks. I am tasting this blind, and so you can show your ass a little bit on a whiskey tasting when it's blind. I think E1 is a rye, but when you're tasting these and you focus on what is it? Is it a rye or is it a bourbon? What brand is it? Is it that brand? Or is it this brand? What you're not doing is you're not focusing on whether or not you like that glass more than that glass. And that's what you're doing in competition. You're not focusing on what is it. And with E1, I let myself go there. I let myself go to it's a rye. And if it's not a rye, then
he knew exactly what was a rye.
Just shows you that you can't.
Boy knows his whiskey.
Always get them right, but I'm pretty. I mean,
he knows his fucking whiskey, doesn't he?
But at any rate, you don't want to put too much focus on that. I really like the sugarcane notes in 92. It had this really kind of grassiness to it, but it is not elite enough to move on to the next round. It's probably going to be in that mid between 50 and 25 when the list is all said and done. But E2, just loved E2, and that it just was so complicated, so beautiful. It's definitely going to the next round.
Was there a new
E3
controversial
was
ride that released this
my
year, or
least
was it
favorite of the bunch, I
had
think.
been? I think a few
With
years ago was when it
it was
released.
spicy, but it had this kind of an off note to it. Didn't care for it. 94 molasses forward, scored a 95. Love that note. E5 just straight up. That was where I kind of made that comment. Like, I just want to score these. I don't want to give notes, because E5 was one where I could give you tasting notes on it, but it would take me some time to decipher them, and I don't have that time. But I knew that it wasn't good enough to beat, the majority on this flight.
He knows what he's
E6 had
doing.
this Altoid note, kind of a mint, fresh mint note, and Altoid's like a back and forth. I really like that, but again,
There's
not good
one.
enough to go to that
One.
next round. When you look at like what the elite whiskeys are on this flight, E7 just drop dead gorgeous. Really caramel, spicy, big old giant fig note. E7 is just mwah.
That's
So for all you sergeant first classes out there, E7
that's going to be a
right
big hitter.
That
E8, doesn't win, I'd be surprised.
Scored it an 85. Didn't want to give too much thought into it in terms of notes. 89, very grainy, but grainy in an oatmeal sense. Like I really liked the oatmeal flavor profile there. E10, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So
Maybe
what will
grainy.
be going forward for me are going to be
probably not.
E2, E4.
It's a lot to do, man.
E7 and E10. So that's what's going forward here on this flight. This was easily had like more thoroughbreds in it than any previous flight. I'll be very curious to see how they do going up against the competition in that next round. So that's going to do it for we've successfully. I'm feeling pretty good. Let's keep it going.
Hey, hit the halfway point. We made it. Halfway point. Well, I'm actually really surprised about that one. Barrel Vantage not making it very far. But I'm going to pour myself some of this. And as a part of this, we're going to also say cheers to Fred for doing all this, because it's fun to be able to see somebody take on all these whiskeys. And only Fred can make this happen.
51 through
Just glad
60,
he's a part of us.
I think. And
Fred looks sweaty.
We are definitely past that halfway point.
This is like if somebody asks you to eat 100 chicken wings in an hour.
The way?
Like it's the same exact concept.
Well, when it comes to whiskey drinking, I do have some stamina.
See?
All right, so F1.
Like he listened to you, Ryan. He knew exactly what you were saying. All right, Driftless Glen small batch. We had picked some stellar Driftless Glens, and the last rye we picked was amazing. This is sweet, sweet cherry bomb. I mean, dear Lord. It says at 85 on there. I swear to God, our rye we picked was a 92. I'm just throwing numbers out.
F1 was a little...
all right, Ben Holiday, Thomas H. Handy. So there he goes, Chattanooga. Booker's, F2. 15 stars. Liberty Pole, Old Fit, 17. Another Elijah Craig barrel. I think every Elijah Craig barrel proof is in here. And Michter's 20. All right. I'll be curious about what happens when we get to F10 over here. Charging cord in a second. I mean, you gotta prepare for the worst. That's how it works. Ben Holiday was good, y'all. I know people have been talking about it. It's good. So if you've been looking to be like, hey, I think it's Missouri, right? Like what's a Missouri bourbon taste like? 93. Ben Holiday's gonna be
F3.
It. All right. On to the BTAC, on to the Handy, which is amazing that he added Handy in here and not Igor 17 or Sazerac. I'm sorry, Igor 17 or Sazerac 18. But that's in here. I'd be surprised. 92. I probably would have gone 89. But hey, Fred's Fred.
F4.
All right. Chattanooga bottle bomb. Chattanooga's been crushing it, by the way. Like they've been
and then possibly
some of my favorites have
determine
been
my top
Chattanooga over the past
25.
probably 2 years. And we did
F4.
that Chattanooga single barrel from them, and I'm a huge fan of that. They've been coming out with all kinds of like crazy experimental releases at the distillery too, like the cacao finish that just came out. Was that a 90? 90 on that
F5.
one? See, I don't know if I get a ton of grain forward whiskey on Chattanooga. I think it's more mature than that. When I think grain forward, I'm thinking way more corn. I'm thinking way more grain, if you will, and younger notes, and not so much what you get on Chattanooga. But hey, I think that's the difference. Cacao, moo, my friend. Is that a 94 for F5? Can
F6.
somebody catch me on that one? Was that a 94 for Booker's Kentucky Tea Batch? All right. Brandon says grain forward to me is New Riff. I don't know if I get grain forward. I mean, New Riff for me, I think it's just all the 94. God damn, crazy. New Riff. I was like, I look at that and I'm thinking more caramel and softer, and they've got some just good notes all around. I don't know if it's grain forward for me, but hey, that's the way it works. Yeah, Booker's batches are getting some love, man. That's for sure. He's really liking them, and with good regard. They have 691, 15 stars, 14 year. I mean, that's obvious. It's going to be a really good release.
So I'm just trying to give some top line tasting notes, a score, and move on to that next round. I'm smelling F7, and I kind of know where it's going to go. It's one of those where I smell it, and I don't want to taste it. I am going to taste it because I gotta. But
yeah, I just tasted Barrel Vantage next to everything that we've been trying all night, and I'm like, okay, well, I can kind of see where flavors start interacting, and you might think things are differently, but
actually,
golly,
very good.
It's tough to put all these next to each other with
action.
Barrel finishes next to rye whiskeys, next to straight bourbons and 15-year-olds and all this other kind of stuff.
F8.
Man, it's not a fair competition, but unless you're Fred Minnick to choose the best whiskey of the year, I guess is what it comes down to. All right, this is F8. This is the Old Fitz 17 year. Ryan took this bottle from me and crushed it, by the way. Like straight up crushed it. Wait, F7. Oh yeah, here we go. What do you put it as? I'm guessing 92. 92. 92. He's going in for a second taste. 92. 92. Come on. 94. Look at that, man.
F9.
That was a good bottle. It was a really freaking good bottle. All right, now we'll see if you can go from the 100 to an Elijah Craig barrel proof and see what the difference is. I'd be interested to see, only because this is what the 42nd Elijah Craig barrel proof that's been here. I'm just kidding, but I think every Elijah Craig barrel proof and every Larseny's been in here. They're all good whiskeys. Toffee, yep, that sounds about right. It's what to be expected here. 92.
F10.
Let's see. How do you figure out each class? You have rise finishes, crazy dude. He just randomly just put them all in random lineups. Here we go. Michter's 20. This is, I think, if this isn't like a 97 or above, I'll be amazed. Here we go. 97. If it's not a 97, then you can laugh at everybody that pays $5,000 or more for these bottles.
F10 was all encompassing in my tongue.
Damn it.
And
He's wow. Yep. Here it is. It's probably 95.
95.
Boom. What did I say?
Okay,
95.
so this flight,
But what was that? 97, that E10. So he had
there's
97,
some
the other
cinnamon
one.
on F10 too.
Yes, it was
This
one of the most
flight
expensive bottles.
was
Other than
so-so.
the
There were a couple really good ones in here, and then just
rabbit
kind of some
hole
so-so
16
stuff
year.
like F1. It was fine, but I didn't want to waste my time with notes on this because again, my mind is like I'm trying to be effective here. I'm trying to taste and be effective. Like when I'm in competition, I won't even go this far. I will write a score. I won't give notes. And the managers of the competitions, like, it pisses them off because they give the notes to the distillers, who the distillers like, oh well, maybe I can use that to improve my product or whatever. I don't care. I just want to pick one over the other and kind of be done with it. With here, I'm looking at this as like I'm trying to, get through this in a timely manner, and I found F1 just kind of be like, not noteworthy. F2 was some strawberry and some banana. F3 very spicy, loved it. Loved the smoke in F4. I love the cornbread and spiciness in F5. I gave that a 94. I'm gonna bring that back down to. I'm gonna revisit F5 because
is it. I feel like if you're like the teacher that goes like, well, he didn't really show his work, so we're gonna take a point off.
Well, yeah, I'm keeping that at 94.
Okay.
So basically, 94 is the range of which I move things on to that next round. 93 and above have been, what I've been putting forward. So F5 will go forward.
Okay.
Interesting. And F6 caramel, butter, salt, so I had some saltiness to it. F7, very nice corn pudding note to it. The nose was very off, but the corn pudding note was very nice. F8 hazelnuts, brown sugar. F9 toffee, and then 10, which blew my mind. It was beautiful. It was kind of a molasses bomb.
Go figure. I mean,
so 10.
It's amazing how that stands up. So when somebody ever says 10, like, "Oh, you never pick out of a blind lineup," look, he's doing it right now.
5 move on from the F round. 10, 8, and 5.
Amazing.
So F5, F8, and F10. We'll go on to that next round. Giddy up.
Good. How about it? And breaking news, we've got some more stuff to talk about. Actually, we don't have much to talk about. Y'all been very quiet on the chat recently, so I'm just gonna keep talking. Yeah. Hemingway Rye, still good. Really surprised about it. Sorry.
I had some.
He's
some
talking about
water,
his liquid death. He's getting back into liquid death, by the way.
When you do this sort of thing, you got to hydrate profusely, and when you eat, the day before,
I think it was a tea batch, sure you eat not the lumberyard.
Foods that you do.
Oh shit, are we on here? Oh shit, we are. Here we go. G2, Ryan. G2. Here we go. Here we go.
Lamb, bacon,
time to hype ourselves up. After this, y'all, if we're
so
like
all the things that
we're like an 86 or below,
maybe you don't.
We're just gonna cut off the stream and figure out a way to cut off his stream. We're gonna just
got 2 of the 3
bomb everything on YouTube, so none of this exists ever again.
The third one, I don't smoke, but I smoke cigars occasionally.
Oh shit.
Anyway.
Oh shit. All right.
In terms of,
and we're against Maker's Butter 02. Oh man. All right, here we go.
Not that you care, but hey, let's go to G1. G1 on up in here.
Here we go. Okay. Let's not screw this up. All right. Maker's Butter 02. Actually, like I said, I don't know what BRT stands for. I'm sure everybody has the word, but I just say butter. All right. We got 100. Okay, at least we're coming in close because that's 109.4. We're coming in at 108 next. So we'll see what we got here. All right, get that palate cleanser. If you can, get some ginger, maybe
G2,
maybe a little red steak before you try the next one. All right, here we go. Pursuit United Batch 7cc. It's going to be the bourbon. It's not going to be the rye. Oh, crap. Here we go. This is the moment of truth, y'all. Oh, he just wrote a line.
T3?
He just wrote a line. It wasn't even...
We're hearing some loud noises outside the office.
Didn't even give us a rate. He just wrote a line and said no. Well,
dropped a bunch of bricks or something.
There you have it. I don't even think it was just not even gonna rate this. Well, that was our shot at glory, y'all. 84.
So far, this flight is really really meh.
Yeah. Well,
so
have to accept it.
Have
to accept it. I mean, we can't compare to Stag. I'm not going to say we're going to compare to Stag. We can't do that.
I want to see a little bit more out of the whiskeys.
Well, at some point you gotta go ahead and suck it up. There you go. Sad trombone. Womp womp womp. But shit, that whiskey won best whiskey of the year at the what was it? The John Barleycorn Awards this year, right? Like beat out Heaven Hill Fitzgerald 17 year and everything like that. It's okay, but we'll go ahead. Let's bring it in. It'll be fine. There's only 364 more days until next year's Fred Minnick's top 100 whiskeys of the year. We can come back. We can come back in. It's okay. It's what we can do. I still feel confident what we delivered. And if you do try it, you like it, we appreciate it. That's all that really matters. All right. I'm not going to say anything, but I've had some of these other ones on here, and I'm like, debatable, but okay. It's I'm just glad he didn't come through and he just didn't say, you know what, this is terrible. Wouldn't drink it. Blah 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 blah. We made it in the top 100, and that's okay. But all these are low. Nobody's standing out here, except William Rouleau at the 94. I mean, I guess that stands out. There we go.
G6
cracking of the liquid death there.
Is the whiskey I've been looking for in this flight.
If this dude doesn't get sponsored by liquid death, I'd be surprised.
Need to give it a breather. We're gonna have a little liquid death.
There you go. We'll play. We just got seeded bad. That's all it came down to. We got a bad seed. That's what it came down to. I don't have a
relationship with them or anything. I know when a YouTuber or someone comes up with a glass and and I'm having some liquid death. And it's just fine. And by the way, you can go down in my product section and buy a bottle or a glass or aluminum can. I have nothing with these folks. I just needed some soda water to cleanse my palate. And
there you go, Ryan. We got tasted pre-liquid death.
There you go.
I mean, the guy loves his liquid death. You could tell he does. Like so he stretches his jaw muscles out. When you have a lot of alcohol in your cheeks, it kind of like it feels like your cheeks are shrinking into your gum line. I don't know if there's any like scientific evidence. All right, when can we stop the bleeding? Let's keep this going.
I don't know if that's true.
I keep seeing Pursuit on here, and
so
I'm just still
kind of move my jaw around a little bit like that, move my tongue around.
Even though
trying to get as much,
we did give him the Oak Collection. The Oak Collection did make it on here.
Kind of let it stretch out a little bit because this is a lot of work. I know.
For Peerless, like I said, he's
drinking a lot of bourbon. It's so
oddly enough, there's some ones that make sense. There's definitely some ones that make sense. You got
on the palate.
Your Michter's 20. You got your Stags. You got your Russell's Reserve. You got these other ones that really made it. But
I like working, especially what
sometimes there's ones that. But
I drink bourbon.
There you go. He drinks bourbon for a living. Like this is his job. He knows what he's doing. So we have to just give him the benefit of the doubt here. Next roundtable is gonna be awkward. Next roundtable, maybe the next text message that comes through. No, I'm just kidding. Like I said, we knew going into this, we actually wanted him to review it. Last year, he didn't review our batches because he said it was a conflict of interest.
G8?
Until we said, listen, we want you to put it in here. And I don't think people are going to care that you're not a part of it and whatnot. So it took him to be able to get to the point where he said, listen, I think that people are to the point where they don't recognize me as part of the brand. I will go ahead and add it to it. And we said, yes, we'd appreciate it, so on and so forth. So it wasn't a something that we didn't, there was no grease in the palms. There was nothing about it. As you can see, he didn't give us the high score on the fucking thing, but you can see that it's nothing that we, it's all camaraderie at the end of the day. I guess that's the best way to put it, right? I mean, we're happy to be a part of this. We're happy that he put us in there, and we weren't even a part of this last year. We weren't even part of the discussion last year because he thought that people would confuse him with us. So now that we're actually in the competition, it makes us feel good compared to a lot of bourbons that didn't even make it in the top 100. There you go. And even Adam says that
HIJ
Oak Collection bourbon.
I think I'm going to make it.
Crushed that one earlier. Top 10.
I think I'm going to make it,
Reed? Talking about Adam.
All right. Most important thing now is that I don't lose my palate. And I feel...
Don't lose it.
I feel like I still got my palate. So
there you go. It was an indescribably 84. How about that?
So we are attempting to do this all in one sitting.
Oh, there we go. He just didn't have. Yeah, you're right. He was missing the crooked neck label. That's all. That's what he was missing the entire time.
A 2-camera setup with my, one panning to my notebook.
If he just had a crooked neck label, it would have completely changed his outlook on the entire thing.
We're going to try and get through all of these, for our top 100. And I think we got a good shot. If I'm a betting man, I'd bet on me.
At least I think it was an 87. I still think we had, there we go. Oh, it was an 84. Okay.
So this flight,
it's not the best score out of all it, but whatever.
This flight had a lot of a nice,
let's say duds.
Above average whiskey.
Above average. There we
go. But there was only really one that
it felt like he just wrote it. He didn't write a tasting note. That's how bad it was.
You're looking for whiskeys that will go to the next round. You're not here to give a participation trophy. You're here to crown what is your favorite. And
but is there like a crawlback champion?
Flight, and that would be 6. G6 is the only one that will move on from here. Everything else -5.
I mean, G7 is a solid
an 8.
Solid go. 22 blade and bow. Nice. It's always been fantastic.
Average. But G6 will be moving on to the next round. And so now we have H, I, and J coming up. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get those on the table.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan's right. It's like we have a 4 to 6-year-old bourbon. Like, we're going to compete with 12-year William Weller. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, we can't do that. Whatever. We can do what we can. Let's see. How many move on to the next round? That's a good question. Probably quite a bit. I'm going to... Yes, I actually will trust the guy in the ascot. He's it's Fred. It's Fred. He's a good friend, and he dude knows his shit. All right, bring him back in here.
The man who poured everything, everybody, just sneaked up and scared the shit out of me. He's got this kind of like Bigfoot bear quality,
Maybe not. All right, so thank God. I'm glad that round's over. Now we can move on.
We're on round H right now.
Let's go ahead and just.
We're on H. Do you need me to scrub something? Oh, you want to do some dishes?
Oh, Van Winkle Family Reserve Rise H4.
You don't think we'll need it? Yeah, go ahead.
So we'll see what happens there.
At least. So
Kiamichi 8-year.
Typed and printed.
Pacific
Typed and
Coast. It's the
printed, so this
second
is
time
this is
Pacific
what
Coast has
everything
been in
is?
here. The first time they
Okay.
had a very
I mean, the audience is
mediocre.
already
And
knows
K
what's
Luke
going
is
on.
for the second time. Both had very
but,
mediocre scores in the first rounds. So we'll see what happens. And another rice whiskey. All right, we'll see.
Where was I?
I feel like this
Glass
is
H1.
I feel like this is like the group in the World Cup that's like you have Brazil and then everybody else. What does that even say? Like Altville, Louisiana rice whiskey. He didn't. Okay, we can't even see it on the other camera.
I'm tasting like I would be in competition, so I don't put a lot of notes there.
I mean,
what's most important for me is that I have a differentiator for when I go to compare one glass to another.
We hear your friend. Bullet cash strength never disappoints. By the way, always had a good showing with it. But you know, now that we've been talking about all this, I'm looking at what I have right here next to me. I've got a bunch of tequila. So I'm just going to do some tequila. Fortaleza Añejo 80 proof. Why not? And our episode called Tequila Pursuit will be coming out the first week of January. So if you want to know more about tequila, we'll be coming out the first week of January. All right, what are we on? H3. We don't even get to see the scores right down now. It's okay, here we go. So there was an 84, 95 and an 84. God damn, he wrote Bullet Cash 95 and 84 for Leopold Brothers. All right, because I had the 3-chamber rye. It's pretty good. It's pretty unique. Grain forward, which what he likes.
I think after this, I want some fried chicken.
Fried chicken sounds like pretty good.
Fried chicken sound good? Yeah, I want some fried chicken.
I mean, he recorded this earlier, so 10 p.m. at night. 85 for number 4.
H5?
Whoa, shit. Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye, 84. Did I catch that right, or was that a 94? God dang it. Go back to the other camera. Freaking awful. No, that was okay. There's an 85.
Great.
85 for the Van Winkle Reserve Rye 13 year. How about it? Interesting. Because that's usually always one of the top contenders of the best of the Van Winkles. But he's writing a lot of notes on H5. Holy shit.
I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about H5
This
here.
is a single malt.
H5 will be moving on. This has it starts out with kind of like the simplistic grain note, and then it jumps into like some sweetness and like it really a beautiful ranging style of whiskey. So I was getting kind of bored and questioning my palate for a second, and then I came across H5. Did I say H5 before? I said H5.
You did H5, yep.
Yeah, okay.
So if you're wondering about tequila,
H6
right now, Fortaleza. I'll just go ahead and move the screen. Why not? So Fortaleza is what I'm drinking now. Fortaleza Añejo 80 proof. And from what we understood so far by talking to our good friend that is going to be on the podcast is that Fortaleza is one of the good manufacturers of tequila.
H7?
Because you will see that there is a lot of tequila on the market that has, unlike bourbon and everything like that, is full of sugars and additives and coloring and everything like that. So you'll get to learn all you need to know about tequila and finding good tequilas out there as well. Yeah. We can't feel that bad. We were 1 point behind Van Winkle Rye. Golly.
Really
94.
Like H7 a lot.
Was it H7?
H8.
Batch
H8.
2? Okay. How do they get multiple entries and we only get one? But they get K Luke batch 2. I don't know who K Luke is, but they got 2 entries. but that's okay. Not gonna question the process. I'm just be glad we're in it. Damn, this tequila's good.
H9.
All right, Nashville Barrel Company. Always excited to hear what he thinks of Nashville. I'll bet you it'll score high. Oh, he's got to ponder this one. 91. Just guessing. 93. Ooh, what'd I tell you? I figured, dude, I'm telling you right now, Fred's got a thing for MGP. And I think everybody else does too. It's just one of those things that it's gonna always score high in a lot of these
H10.
blind tastings. It always does.
H10.
Well, thanks, Lucas. We'll take the 2 extra points. If we can do some extra credit at the end to get to an 89, we'll take that too. Just messing with you.
All right.
I mean, he doesn't have to score it high. This is all blind.
This flight was pretty pedestrian. But there was one
Pedestrian
in here that kind of leaped out for me. And then I had a couple of them that were in that 93 range. There was some quality here. H1 was very good. H2 had this nice allspice note kind of come in. It's a 93, but it's a low 93. So like if you were like to turn it into a decimal point, it'd be like 93.0. And same with Glass 9. That was a 93 for me, but not a 93.5 or 6. And the rest were just kind of like between 84 and 92. But there was one product in here that really kind of jumped out to me. I talked about H5 before, and it starts out as kind of grainy, and it turns into a sweetness, and that's a very exciting thing for me. So H5 will be moving on. The rest will be going into a cardboard box and being set off to the side.
Really?
So here we go. We got I and J left. Can I do it?
Yeah, I'm sure you can. I'm going to go ahead and mute him. So if you want to know what I was doing with the tequila side, so I was drinking the Fortaleza. Let's see if I can have it. There you go. Fortaleza 80 proof on Yeho. So Fortaleza is one of those brands that we've learned that is a tequila that is additive free and everything like that as well. So it's definitely one of the good ones to go and check out.
Right. We have 20
Bring
left.
Fred back in.
I'm 80 whiskeys in.
He's 80 whiskeys and fucking 19 liquid deaths.
What I think are going to be my, in that upper half. Well, they are in the upper quarter, based on these flights. And here I am on the I round, so I have 2 left. And I gotta say, I feel really good.
At some point, I expected like an ascot change or something to come in,
like that, but
just to keep things fresh.
Spitting helps, in competition, you spit. You're not drinking all this, and well, this is what it's like. This is what it's like to be a professional taster. You taste, spit, taste, spit, taste, spit, taste, spit. That's
what I forgot to do all night.
All fun and games.
And I forgot my water.
But that said, it's not really work. I mean, you're tasting whiskey. So yeah, I don't even know what I was getting at.
No Malort. I'm sorry. So, no Malort.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to I.
Chug your liquid death. Let's get going here.
It's time for some I1 on up and
Oh, Adam, get out of here, bro.
I'm an army of one.
If it is, then that must mean you like all the other stuff that's full of sugars, bro. I'm just messing. All right. Well, does that say bourbon? What does that say? Bradshaw Bourbon Batch 7. There you you go. Green River. What we got? Green River. I'm gonna guess in 89. Shit.
I too.
On point.
I too.
All right. I too. Another Pinhook 7-year. Okay. Interested to see what we got. I mean, I don't know which one this was. Oh, Bourbon War. Okay, because they come out with a few different releases every year. 85. Okay. Smoke Wagon. My wife just sent me a message. She goes, how much longer are you doing it live? I go, well, I can stop soon. Depends. Are you cold?
I3.
Because I have to turn off the air to be able to make sure that we can do this so there's not a lot of background noise. She goes, you've been on forever. I was like, yeah, you're right. We're going on 2 hours now. I said I'll stop here after this round. So you go. Y'all got me for one more round. Booker's. I'll bet you Booker's gonna score high. It always scores high. Why not?
I4.
Because this is
I4.
the second or third Bookers that we've had in here. But everybody's been talking about the best Bookers ever been the past few years. Oh, there it is.
Thank you for I4 coming.
What do you know?
Oh,
Booker's coming through in the clutch. I'm going to guess it's a 92.
So good. I can't even think of what to say about it. Let's say.
How do you not know?
Peanut butter.
Yeah, you know it's good. Just put it a 92. You know what you're going to put it as.
Yeah, that's a high 93.
93. Oh, it's close. Yeah, you're right. Booker's is bourbon. It is good.
Coming to you live from I-5 in Tacoma, Washington.
Usually between 6 to 7 years old. So I mean, it's a solid bourbon. Like that's what Brent said. Like you can't complain about Booker's. You can't. The only thing you can complain about Booker's, literally the only thing that you can complain about Booker's, is that how it used to be a $65 bottle and now it's a $90 bottle for relatively the same exact age. But you know, whatever. That's the nature. That's business. That's the way that things have gone.
I'm kind of muscling through these.
It is what it is.
You can't tell. A lot of
as a senator,
when you do
80 laws, 8 year now.
Long, these big tastings like this, it's like everything else. You know, you have muscle memory on your palate, and my palate is used to this. I mean, I've done probably 100 different tastings like this, so I kind of know when to pause, you know. And right now,
is this a pause moment?
Right now, after this flight, I'm going to assess. I'm going to assess everything. I'm going to have a cracker, and we'll see where I'm at.
Maybe some Munster cheese.
I think I'm in good shape. My nose is really. My nose is exceptional right now. Like I'm picking up things with my nose that, and when you're doing competition, your
this
nose
dude's a pro.
is a tool.
Right?
You
can't even mess with him.
Your nose will help guide you. And in my scorings, you know, I tend to be, you know, about 30.
Rick, where do you live? That Booker's is $120.
Taste and finishes the rest.
Booker's is not $120, man.
Anyway,
if Booker's is $120 where you at, you need to make some friends so they can get you a bottle and save you. Well, actually, after shipping, it only saves you like 10 or 15 bucks. So I guess it's
I7.
Not a big deal. I'm trying to make the best of a situation here. So 6 was 87. That was the 80 laws. And then this is the NASA Family Blended Rye coming up next. South Carolina's 125? No way. Oh, New Mexico, man.
I-7.
New Mexico's $120 for a
I-7 has a
Booker's.
really,
Whew.
really splendid.
Well, in that case, y'all need to make some friends with some people in a
hot
control
chocolate
state so they
note
can hook you up or something. I don't know.
with marshmallows, and I gotta say,
I bet you he's going to
yeah,
give a high score.
this
93.
I-7
Hey, there you
makes
go.
me think about Christmas, and
Big score right
our
there for the
family,
NASA Family Blended
we
Rye.
lost Jacqueline's father in June, and we're we're looking at Christmas
120
right now very
Connecticut?
differently than we normally do.
Crap. I've been
because
out of the
don't
Booker's
have,
game for a while, I guess.
Charles around, and
See,
I
that's
think
what
of hot chocolate. Sitting down with my kids,
control
and
state,
having
control
a hot
state.
chocolate with them while watching a Christmas movie, and I-7 kind of reminds me of that, and that's what whiskey can do. Whiskey can remind you of these incredible memories you've had in your life, and so I-7 really pulls on those heartstrings, if you will.
All right.
I-8.
I'm curious what he's going to do about this next one because he blew up WM Tar 7 year a few weeks ago, and you can't get it anymore because they don't even make it anymore. They quit doing it. It's a blend of Kentucky and rye whiskeys. And they've been out for a couple years, and they just, as soon as they said, we're not going to make this anymore, Fred goes and says, like, oh, this is amazing. So I'm curious what he is going to rate this one as. 88. Okay. All right. That's about what I thought it was going to be. It's still good. By the way, we did a whiskey quickie of that one a long, long time ago, and we really liked it. But then we saw that he did that, and we're like, wait a minute, this has been out forever. And all of a sudden, like, they're going to say that they're getting rid of it. And now everybody has to go clear the shelves. I was always kind of curious about that one. All right, 10. Redwood Empire. Last one before I sign off with you all here too.
There's a pink here. I mentioned this earlier.
Means you don't have enough for a second sample.
All that means is there's not a lot of product of this left.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a message to me to be judicious with how much I pour in the glass.
I've heard a lot of people talk about Redwood Empire. I haven't had it myself. Okay. So if there's only 10 more, I'll stay on for one more round, and then I'm cutting it. Nobody tell my wife. Because at that point I hit 2 hours and then we're done. I just wish I was smart and grabbed the water. Actually, I want to grab a water here in a minute. 90. Okay. I really want to try the Redwood Empire. I've seen it.
All right.
I want to try it though.
So this I-7 in this class is a very personal.
All right, listen to Fred. I'm going to grab a water.
But it will not be advancing. I just happen to like that hot chocolatey note. But there was not. Excuse me. I hope you cut me some slack. I've now had 90 whiskeys. So hopefully you can see past your. Give me. What word am I looking for here? Just cut me some slack. Just cut me some slack for burping. I apologize. And if I have offended you with that burp, if you're part of the Burpers Anonymous, and you truly struggled with burping, I apologize. That was not meant to make fun of you or the burping class. That being said, I-7 is a personal favorite of mine. It takes me to a place that I'm very fond of, but I don't think it's good enough to be over here in the competitive table.
Wait, so nothing made it over?
The one that is it would be the lowest score that I have put forward so far. So it would be 4. So
I don't think she's watching.
I'm going to say that I'm going to revisit 4. Revisit 4.
Everybody,
this really
of course,
nice
it's
peanut butter
Booker's.
note to it.
Why not? Everybody gotta give us some Booker's love.
A little cornbread there too.
Bill, I don't think so. I don't think any of those made it into this.
Yeah, I can't advance. I-4.
Yeah, I do need some liquid
I-4
death.
is
That's what I'm missing in my life. I'm
is
gonna run to the speedway
very.
real quick.
Hold on. Let me take a look at. I'm going to take a look. So this is a. If I have another 93 that's in there.
Did
So what we'll do here?
did he say that he's gonna do like a
we'll do
best of
kinda
the best of
these-
32 when it
this
gets
is
to
my
this, or a
notes for
best of
what has went
16?
forward. B7 was a
Like
96.
how do you choose if you give
B8 was a
so many
93.
93s?
So
Like
B8
how do you
was.
choose?
We did have a 93 forward. B8 was a 93 previously. So I am going to advance I4.
Okay,
And since we had another 93 advance, for the hell of it, I'm going with
Brian, I'm
my
glad you're
hot
keeping tack.
chocolate, special place to I7 because I did notate that as being a 93. I think that's a low 93.
No, a 93 is a
But
93. I
so
don't
I'm
think there's
going to go
like
ahead and
such thing as
advance
a
it
low 93,
because I think we only have one flight left.
unless there's some
and
decimal points that we missed.
I don't think I have quite 25 yet. Anyway, so yeah. All right. So the rest of the flight was
It's
just
a
kind
joke.
of meh.
I'm just messing with them.
The glass 3 I3 had this really nice pickle note to it. Which I'm in the mood of. I'm craving fried
I
chicken
mean,
right now.
I'm
so
not
maybe-
surprised Booker's
maybe I
moved
should throw
on.
some pickles and
It's
hot chocolate based on this
it's
flight.
Booker's.
So, all right. So we got one left.
One left.
Reed, we're going to get through the top 100. We're going to get through it. I can't believe it. Am I good? I sounded good? You good? Yep. All right, let's keep doing this.
All right, this is it. And I'm turning it off, and then you all got to go back onto Fred's stream after this. But this was fun. This has been real fun. Be able to go through all this with y'all. So we'll see what happens as we go through here. It said Equinox Blend was your sleeper. I don't know if Stellum Equinox was on here. I know there was a Barrel Blender too, but I don't know if Equinox was on there. But I might be wrong. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, we've crushed a lot of things we want to talk about through here. So this has been fun. I know. I told my wife, I was like, yeah, I'll be done for this round. But Bandit Bourbon says, you know what? We'll just keep going. Why not? Just one more is not going to hurt. Which I say that, and all of a sudden, he sits there and he throws his curveball where he's going to make us sit here and wait a few minutes, even start going. I know that these are all recorded earlier, so he's got to be able to just start playing it. So come on, Fred, hit the play button. Get this thing going here. We're waiting for this to start happening. But thank you. We were saying thanks for doing this. Thanks for doing this. It's funny when I was at dinner with my wife earlier, and so I was watching a Netflix special this past week, and it talked about the GameStop documentary. And it was these guys who basically streamed one of the depositions and had their face on the corner and were just giving commentary as the deposition was going on. And I thought to myself, how funny would it be if I just gave commentary while Fred does his best whiskeys of the year? And within, I got home, I shit you not, at 7:45. I tested it out after that, and by 8:15 I was live, and because I said I think we have something I can go live with, so I might as well just go ahead and do it. And I just thought it was going to be a fun idea just to go ahead and give some commentary on what Fred was doing, because I think that, well, for one, I always want people to go support Fred. So Fred is by far, he's a great resource for us. He's a great friend. And it was one thing that I said, you know what, as people were listening to this, let's go ahead and I'll just give commentary as Fred goes through this, because I've seen this before. How fun would it be if we just gave commentary? Because I don't think anybody's ever done that before. Let's give it a go. And it seemed to work out okay. And now that we've gone through this, I hope it worked out really well. And we'll see if we can do this again next year. I think it was a fun little experiment to kind of play with. And who knows, maybe next year Ryan and I can hop on and we can go back and forth and we can kind of just give our thoughts as it goes through. But honestly, this is all for one of those things that this is one of like the biggest nights for whiskey for a lot of people. And of course, Fred is by far one of the biggest people that are in this category. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. So I just want to make sure we all go and support him and everything like this through this. Whether you agree or disagree,
Hello.
top 10, that doesn't matter. It is just one of those things that we can all go and just support each other as we go through.
All right, so it looks like we had some
costume change. Here we
something
go.
happened with my feed and the flight J did not go through. As mentioned at the top, this was I recorded that previously.
10 more liquid
to
deaths.
do the finals here tonight. So what I am going to do, I'm going to pull up my my notes from Jay and just kind of go over that with you all.
Oh, okay.
And then
We're
pull
gonna do
up
this.
what Jay was.
And then you got to go back over there.
Let's see. We have camera 2. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're trying to get. Sorry about this, folks.
See the
alphabet. Like we have a little bit of a technical difficulty. All right. Oh.
I mean, technically it is live. I'm actually restreaming Fred's stream as I am commenting on Fred's stream. So it is technically live. I love you all too. So appreciate y'all hanging out with me for 2 hours as we did this.
All right. So you all can hear me okay? See me okay?
Negative.
We'll
see what he says here, but then I'm going to drop off for the final, so you got to go over there. Oh, tell me if I'm wrong. I think he just dropped out his audio. I promise. I didn't cut his audio out. I think something cut his audio out. Well, if anybody's on this other stream that can say like I don't hear it, I'd be interested to know, because there's no way that I can hear his audio right now. But if not, you've got, what is this? Oh, Bardstown Furculum. That's always gonna be a solid. It's cognac finish. Middle West Berry Badge. Four Roses limited edition this year. Ringer. Redwood Empire. Angels of a Cash Strength. Wyoming Whiskey. Okay, no sound in his stream. Thank you. There you go. No sound in his stream. So I knew that it wasn't me. So somebody else screwed that one up. Wyoming Whiskey, always solid. Willet 8-year. Barrel Seagrass. And what we got? Green River Penelope Cash Strength 4 grain. So I don't know. Interested to see what happens in here. But I'll tell you what. Now I bet you're glad you're on my stream, because at least you have audio. Because all of a sudden, if I had to guess, his stream is just blowing up right now. People are just like furious, going like, "Oh, we got 600 people and we can't hear shit," and blah 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 blah. But whatever. It's one of those things. Bring in the tech guy if you want to figure this stuff out. I'm just messing. Because if you would have seen the camera that they had in there earlier, that camera is way better than the camera that we have. That I can guarantee you. Here, I'll text Fred. I'll be like, hey, buddy, I don't think.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yep, yeah, your body's working. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, and his audio's working again.
Oh, sorry, folks. Sorry. All right. How about now?
Yep. We got your audio working again. Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me now? I think you can hear me now.
I figured that was going to be happening.
Audio is back. All right.
Yeah.
You all can read some lips. That's good. All right. So how this will go. Did you hear me get through the J class?
No, we didn't hear you get through it. As he drinks his 19,000th liquid death.
Here's a look at my notes for Jay. get that for you.
Wait, so he did these and didn't tell us?
There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's true. Exactly what happened.
So there's the notes of Jay for you.
So Ferculin 95, Middle West 85.
J1 was a beautiful, really beautiful
Four Roses
marzipan.
93.
Very beautiful marzipan forward whiskey. Really loved
Redwood
it.
90.
2
Okay.
I liked.
Angels
I remember it
Envy
having a lot
with
of
an
vibrancy to
86.
it, but it was kind of stuck in between
All right.
1 and 3. 3 was very
Will
custard. I
will
loved
it
some
8
custard and
here?
vanilla forward. It
Or
was
no, what does that
beautiful.
say? Oh, that's the Wyoming whiskey,
And
83.
4
Will
was
it
a
8
honey
years
bomb.
and
5 was
91.
a very coffee centric
Okay.
whiskey.
90, 90,
You know, I
92,
just
90,
but
and
the
90,
leaders of
86.
this
All right.
class were J1 and J3. Both of those moved on, but I did love the coffee note in 5. I found it very unique. 6 was one of my least favorites of the entire competition. It just was fell very flat for me.
It's probably
7 had a
too,
beautiful
it's probably
fig
too
notes.
average.
I
That's probably what it
love the
was.
fig. It had kind of
Just
like
it was too
pastry note
approachable
to it. 8 was very watermelon forward. Pepper had a lot of pepper notes to it, and it was a high 92 for me. So 8 was a high 92, and it had a little cola note to it. And I finished out without giving any tasting notes on 9 and 10, both of which were scored 9.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and mute him. But as I go ahead and just go ahead and sign off for here at this, I just want to say thank you all again for hanging out with me tonight. If you want to watch the rest of Fred's stream, please go over to his. This has been fun to hang out with you all and everything like that. Again, hopefully we can do this next year or something fun relative to this. It was just a good opportunity to be able to do this. But with that, cheers, everybody. Until next time.